As clinical psychologist, I have the concept a madman or a mad woman. And the question I want to ask Errol is how to overcome a madman syndrome.
Situation.
Yes,
What is a madman?
that is when mud is continually thrown at you or you are negatively framed and it's not true. How do you overcome a situation like that?
Well, I suppose a lot of the time mud is thrown because it may well be true. So it's not necessary so that you are getting mud thrown on you for doing nothing. You may have done something. And but presuming that a lot of the time you haven't, and people are throwing mud at you and covering you up. So is that what you're trying to explain? And you're like covered in mud and you can't actually even be seen. You're so covered in
No,
mud.
you must first go in the rain.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I can. Yeah. In other words, really miserable state. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter who you are. Um, um, you know, from any level in life, no matter what job you take, no matter what school you go to, from the moment you actually have interaction with other people, that could be at preschool, will go on to elementary school, it will go on to middle school and high school, I beg your pardon, university and so on, and then of course out in the workplace it's even worse. So you will have people that will try to um, make your demean your character, and and quite honestly, I would say a lot of the people who have mud thrown on them are the people who have actually done something good. They've probably done something worthwhile, and a lot of the time that the mud is thrown at them is out of jealousy, uh, with the idea of sort of bringing them down. Um, Generally speaking, I mean, if a person is really down, I mean, like a homeless person who's sitting in a on the sidewalk and in a cove or something, trying to keep warm in winter. I mean, you have no reason to throw mud on him. I mean, you have to be mentally, retarded to do something like that. But generally, you would go and you might stop and give the man a little money, or some takeaway food you've got. So would you like this? I mean, there's no reason to throw mud on him. But when you start interacting with people at preschool, even, and you happen to be able to, you know how children are, run, jump, do all sorts of things, and sing, better than others. Of course, you incur uh, uh, other people's jealousy. I mean, jealousy is one of the terrible emotions that, on the emotional tone scale, uh, that people have. The emotional tone scale has about 17 levels, and only about the top 4 or 5 are positive levels. The top level of the tone scale is enthusiasm, and the bottom scale of the tone scale is apathy, and beyond apathy it's death. So jealousy falls into the 13 or so states that are not good to be in. Unfortunately, and that of course includes anger, um, um, bitterness, and so on, and sadness. And we would like most of our lives not to be in those states, but we do get into those states, and so it's no good pretending. And so you will find people that have been disappointed and having in something that took place, but you in fact succeeded. So you would be really stupid to think that you are going to be praised by people as your peers, the same age as you, the same. You're going to be praised by the teachers, the parents, maybe not the other children's parents, but you are going to find your peers um, distancing themselves from you, and in fact saying bad things about you, anything they can think of. So I think that's normal, and it goes on uh, throughout your life, and uh, until you are, I suppose, until you die. And the only thing you can't do anything about it. You can't go back and try and throw mud back on these people, because that will most likely not be your nature. But you can't really talk to people to say, I'm just like you. I also tried. I didn't think I would win. That sort of thing. But it doesn't work. So the only thing you can do to overcome the mud situation, where mud is thrown on you for having probably achieved something, is to achieve it again and again and again, and each time better than the last. And eventually, the people that throw the mud will just give up. And that is the way to deal with it. I can't think of any other way of overcoming, it's an interesting concept, the mud man, than breaking out of that mud and doing what you had done to get the mud thrown on you again, but only better this time. That will stop the people from doing things like that to you.
Thank you. Errol Musk, 5 minutes on my mudman concept. So surely your genes don't change if mud has been thrown on you, neither your abilities or your skill.
Yes.